Hey everybody, I wanted to make a video, and I like to make videos about the internet, but I also like to make videos about current events because being on the internet a lot, I get to see a lot of what's going on. And I want to make a confession, and the confession I want to make is I took a gun to school. And that is true. And before you get too excited and call the authorities, that was over 30 years ago, 1978 to be precise. And I did take a gun to school, Remington 1100 12-gauge shotgun automatic. And the reason I took the gun to school is because I went hunting that morning and I didn't have any place to put my gun, and my car window wouldn't roll down, so I was afraid to leave it in my car, so I took it into school. Walked right into school with my 12-gauge shotgun, walked right up to my locker that was about 5 or 6 feet high, stuck my shotgun in the locker and locked the locker and went off to class, and never thought two things about it. And really never thought about that for years and years and years and years. In fact, I think I did it more than once. I can't really remember. But if that happened today, oh my God, the SWAT team would have been there, the FBI would have showed up, and it would have been national news for some kid to walk into a school with a shotgun. And that's just how things have changed. I mean, this is really, really crazy. You know, I grew up on a farm out in western Nebraska, and guns were always pretty much within arm's reach. I mean, my dad carried one in the back window of the pickup. He used to have a pouch under the seat of the pickup where they had a gun. They used to have some behind the seat. I mean, they always had guns. And I think one of the reasons we had guns is because we had livestock. And of course, if you have livestock, you have predators. And if you have predators, you probably need guns. But I was thinking about this in light of the shooting up in Minnesota. And the guy that got shot because he was carrying a gun worked at a school. And I kind of think maybe he took that gun to school, or had an open carry permit, because he feared people in school, maybe feared school shootings or something like that, so he wanted to have some protection. So he took a gun with there, or got an open carry permit and had a gun, and it got him killed. It got him killed because all he did was say, I've got a gun, and then reach for his license, his identification, and he got shot over that. He got killed. Which is incredible. This idea that people that carry guns are a threat and something needs to be taken. You know, action needs to be taken is just so different from, you know, I'm not a young guy, but I'm not an old guy either. In the short time I've been alive, how this has changed. If I'd have told someone this story 30 years ago, nobody would have thought much about it. In fact, as I think about this story, I'm thinking, did people even notice me bringing my gun into the school? You know, I'm sure a lot of kids saw me, maybe even some teachers saw me, but nobody said anything because nobody really gave it much thought. And people had, you know, they had feelings, they could trust people that they had a gun, especially in that community, because people were used to being around guns. So the whole thing, and there's going to be a train coming up here pretty quick, but this whole mindset as far as guns being evil, anybody that's carrying a gun has got to be thought of as, you know, somebody that's up to mischief or doing something bad. Here it comes. It's probably the coaster. Yeah, it's a coaster. It's really, really wild. You know, like I say, if I tell a story about taking a gun to school, people would immediately think you have to call the police, the authorities, or anything like that. 35 years ago, 36 years ago, however long it wasn't any big deal. And you know, I feel really bad for these people that have been shot, and I feel real bad that this is going on. And I feel bad everybody is so you know, to the point where if anybody has a gun or an officer thinks somebody's got a gun, immediately they seem to be a threat. You know, if that was the case, I'd have been dead a long time ago, because I've been carrying. I haven't carried a gun in probably 20 years, but in fact, the gun that I'm telling you about, I don't even own anymore. But you know, so much of my childhood growing up, I was around guns, and I'm sure I was pulled over a few times, and nobody ever made mention of it. Nobody even said anything about it. So it's really crazy how the world's changed, and I really feel bad for these people that are being killed right now because they have a gun. It shouldn't be that way. You know, there still should be a Second Amendment, and people should be able to have a right to own a gun within reasons. But the idea that anybody's got a gun right away just automatically gets suspected of doing a crime. That's just not right. It's not right. And it's also not right that they're picking on certain groups of people, and they are picking on certain groups of people. And there's no doubt about it. But anyway, I appreciate you listening. Hope I didn't scare you too much. Thanks. Bye.